I'm Jason Carey, and today we're talking about Naked As We Came by Iron and Wine. We're going to cover the capo, we're going to cover the tuning, we're going to cover all of the chords that we need and the fingerings we need. We're going to cover the right hand finger patterns, finger picking pattern. We're going to cover the song form. And before we continue, I would encourage you to go ahead and download the free tablature in the description that goes along with this lesson. And so let's go ahead and just run through the tuning. We have the capo already installed. The capo is available in a link in the description. You can actually support the channel, and we'd greatly appreciate that. We're starting with the tuning, which is drop D, low E string, but on fret capo 2. So it'll be on a tuner, on a tuning app on your phone or whatever, or your Logic Pro or GarageBand or whatever you're using for a tuner. It will read E, B, E, A, C sharp, and F sharp. So now that we're all tuned up, we can go ahead and start talking about the first chord, which is like a C major shape, but up on fret number 3. And we're going to just pluck through it to make sure that we have it all articulated properly. Fret 5 on the A string. I'll call this fret 5 because we have the capo on fret 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll call capo fret 0. Fret 5, third finger fret 5 on the A string, finger 2 on fret 4 on the D string, open up the G string, and then fret 3 on the B string for first finger. Okay? That's the only really chord we're going to play, with the exception of altering that bass note. We're going to drop the D string underneath that eventually too, right? Right, and then the open, we're going to remove that third finger and play the open A string. The next chords that we're going to need are finger 1 on fret 2 on the low E string, and then finger 3 on fret 4 on the low E string. And then we're still dealing with the 2 open G and B strings. Then open, fret 2 on the A string, right? And then still the 2 open strings are hanging in there. And then open A string, right? I think the last chord that we're going to deal with here is the A sus2, which is kind of a nice little chord. Fingers 1 and 2 on the 2 middle strings on fret 2, right? And everything else is open. So those are the chords. Now before we get going, really putting everything together, let's take one more quick look at the right hand and how it's going to work, beginning with the D chord with the added 4 in it. So the right hand is going to be thumb, index on the G string, thumb on the A, index on the G, thumb bounces up to the D string, right? And then middle finger grabs the B string. So it's an alternating with thumb index and then thumb and middle. Very pleasant pattern. And if we can't do it that quickly yet, we can just start with a slower version. Much slower version. We can build it up over time. Okay? So then that's the finger picking pattern. So now what we can do is put everything together. We can start with the D chord with the added 4 in it. Then we drop the low D string. It's going to sound different slowly, right? But we're starting with the full pattern. Then we go down to the low E string with the full pattern. Then the open A. So we remove the third finger from the A string and play the open A string. And then back to the low open D string and play the rest of the pattern. Then we're moving to the ascending pattern. which is fingers, you know, we went through these in the chords, but we're still using the right hand pattern. It remains the same, only this time the thumb is tracking the bass note, and then the bass note's changing in the open D string. So we're starting with finger 2 on the low E D string, right? Fret 2. Then we're walking up to finger 3. Then we're shifting up to the next string on fret 2 with the first finger. And then dropping the open A string in there too. So the next section of the song is basically the same finger picking sequence, but starts with the A sus2 chord. Okay? And then we do the same ascending pattern and go back to the A sus2. Only this time we use the index and the middle fingers. Then you can use either the middle finger or the ring finger to go grab that high E string. Okay, thanks again for staying with us and visiting the channel and exploring new ideas and concepts to build us into better and stronger guitar players and stronger musicians. If you have any questions, let me know. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed Naked as We Came by Iron and Wine. Happy picking.